Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. I'm gonna give y'all some time to tune in. Apologies for those who was looking for me yesterday. Had some family pop up and a few other things in order, so I had to push it back to today. I ain't gonna be too crazy on the live today. Just want to discuss a couple things. Um, First things first, hopefully everybody had a blessed and productive weekend. Hopefully everybody was able to get smoothly through their weekends, through their plans, preparing for another week, work, school. I understand that. Um, for those who are going through some medical and physical illnesses, hopefully y'all get yourselves better. Hopefully get back to again living life. You know, enjoying the countless blessings that are being bestowed upon you. You know. And for those celebrating birthdays this week, yes, I know it's officially Libra season. So happy birthday to all the Libras, baby. Appreciate everybody that tuned in. Shoot. Appreciate everybody that tuned in Saturday. My bad. Ugh. Get this coffee out the way. Definitely was a great conversation nonetheless. For those who have missed it, definitely catch the replay. Uh, I wanna I wanna address something that needs to be addressed because this is a sad thing to keep seeing and keep witnessing. Um, First things first, healing prayers to those who was shot on the train due to the negligence of the NYPD. Now there was a body cam footage of a situation. You know, they try to say that this man lunged at the cops, hence why they shot him. But the body cam shows this man was more scared than anything, trying to walk away from the situation. And yet, still, the minute he leaves and thinks he's going to be gone, they still follow him to the point where four people got shot. They shot him in the back of the head. Luckily, I think he survived. But the fact that four people got shot due to recklessness from the NYPD, that's sad right there. In my opinion, that's almost a mass shooting. I know the number was low, but regardless, four innocent people got hit due to the scaredness and the immaturity level of a NYPD officer. Hell, Billy, what's going on? Yeah, I mean, think about it. It's early in the day too. Like nobody's expecting to be accosted by no cops, especially when you're not doing nothing. You know, and seeing this is the thing I was talking about one time before about people just being aware of their surroundings and just if something just don't feel right, follow your gut. And this is why I said it's also important for some of y'all to really start recording what be going down because some of the things they be doing is not by law. My thing is again, you're supposed to be serving and protecting, not killing and shooting. You shoot to kill only if you know it's a present danger to where it's either your life or whoever's life. Grant that. But in that situation, there wasn't no need for you to even pull out no tasers, nor even pull out the gun. Again, this boy showed more fear than anything, and he wasn't coming towards y'all. If anything, he was moving away from y'all. And see, this is what I'm saying. When you have people on the force who are just abusing their power, or when you have people on the force and it comes down to a real situation, they don't know how to present or how to reserve themselves. Guess what? This is the type of crimes you're gonna get. Now again, luckily that person didn't die, but still, it's just the principle. Like if that man is showing that he's more afraid of you than anything, and you shouldn't have got that far. First thing is first is why was that boy even being bothered? You know, I've always felt like this: when people are not being a detriment or being a bother or any form of danger to the people, don't try to harass them. Because again, that just shows the immaturity. You're basically, you know, being put in a position. It's not so much as a job, it's a career, whatever the case is. It's not that. You're being placed in a position where you're supposed to be helping and and protecting the people. Just because you got a badge on does not mean you're above the law. And that's what they need to start implementing as well again throughout all police stations, throughout all of them. You're not above the law just because you got a badge. You commit a crime, you're still a citizen at the end of the day. So yes, you need to be held responsible. In this instance right here, both officers should either be on desk leave or should just go back to retraining. Because common sense would have told you. It didn't matter if the train was crowded or not. The fact that you decided to shoot and four people got hit, that says y'all didn't care. It was just reckless endangerment. Not cool. Baby. And that's what I'm saying. We gotta think about that. You know, that's not the way to go about things. Oh, come on. Why is everybody coming over here now? Man, I should have walked away. My bad, Dan. Give me a second. But it's crazy though. You thinking you about to go to your destination and then come to find out you not going to your destination at all. You know, and again, luckily that person survived, but still, it's the principles that you sat here and did that. That's the same thing I was talking about. Give me a second, y'all.
I just got out of.
I don't want to hear that shit. Serious, baby. Popcorn, what's going on? James, what's going on, my guy? Nah, but my bad, y'all. I'm about to have a nigga moment.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
about
be
to
over
have
here
a
when
nigga.
you finish. Let me know.
I think about it.
Matter of fact, let me get a couple of your motherfuckers.
No, go roll some weed up. You're My bad, y'all. I'm being harassed by people. And I would call the cops, but I'm scared they might shoot them by mistake, like they just did that dude on Sutter Avenue.
Yo, you seen that shit?
Yeah, that shit crazy.
That's
my bad,
and then
that's what I'm talking about right now.
And then what bugs me out about that shit is that his own partner shot him.
I know. It's the four people were shot.
Yeah, he shot his own partner.
Yeah, being stupid, because that boy was more scared than anything. So why would y'all cost him?
I just think about.
My bad, y'all. For those who might have just been tuning in, for some who might have seen it, there was body cam footage of people being shot.
The nigga had a fucking 4-inch knife like this, and you shot him.
Star Wars.
But see, he already, first of all, he was moving away from everything. So if anything,
Attack of the Racists.
all right, well, I did my job. He ain't on the train with that shit. I ain't got to shoot nobody. I ain't got to probably risk shooting my partner. But to be honest with you, shoot that. But they should have been on. They should have been trained for certain things like that. I'm sorry.
No, but if the nigga got a knife, you should already know how to disarm a motherfucking nigga with a knife. And there's two of you. If he stick you one, the other motherfucker would have came from behind.
What the fuck do you think a cop can learn in 6 months?
Nah, there's ways to deal with that because they be having those type of trainings in there just in case of
Yeah.
situations like
They
that.
never applied that training. Have you not?
No,
Have you not?
they need to apply it because again, there's ways to disarm people with knives,
Right.
And they
guns,
did
and
it
all of
one
that.
time.
You just gotta know what you're doing and
Yeah,
make
but
sure
that
Like I
nobody's at
said,
risk.
there was two cops at him and he only had a knife. If one cop, he went at
Cops
one
do
cop,
not
the
know
other
how to
cop would
apply
have
their
would smack
training
the
to
shit
the
out of him.
real world. This is the sad shit. You can
Oh,
train
well,
them to
I'm gonna
everything.
sit over there while he do it, but I'm gonna
They
take a
gotta
couple bullets
apply
at the
it.
Come on here,
motherfucking
son.
glass.
You getting on my
It
nerves,
doesn't
son.
matter.
And then when
They
he
gotta
finished,
apply
Nah,
it.
I ain't going
I
nowhere.
could train you to do whatever the fuck you want, but if you
Matter of
don't
fact, I'm
apply
going to the
it,
NYPD right now. My bad, y'all. Goddamn people. Nah, but you know, it's crazy because in that situation right there again, all four of them could have been gone right now just because of negligence and ignorance right there. You don't always have to shoot your gun in a situation. It doesn't matter if it's a non-violent or a violent situation. There's ways to handle
they are
yourself,
trained. They
especially in
even though they
close
are
quarter combat. You're
not
supposed to
trained
know
to
that
do it.
already.
This is the shit.
You're
They're not.
supposed to know what to do just in
got
case
me
of
was
that. You know,
he had a fucking
You are
4-inch
trained to
knife.
think and
The
then
knife
shoot.
that we
These
got,
motherfuckers
those
don't
shits.
think and then shoot.
Come on,
They shoot
man. There's
first, then
two of
think
them,
later.
one on one side and one on the other. If they would have went towards him, he would
Why
have had
didn't
to
y'all
go at
use
one.
your taser?
He said the taser didn't work.
yeah. Well, in certain
So only
instances, the
one person got
taser.
one taser?
So in certain instances, the
It's
taser
not two people
is
with
not
tasers?
really needed
They
neither
both
because
had tasers. They
So they
said
both
this shit
took
didn't work.
So they both shot at the same
it. So
time and
listen,
used their tasers.
and that
But only
right
one
there.
taser is good enough for one human.
If you
No, the
look
fuck
at
is
it,
not.
they both had tasers.
No, it's
And
not.
when the
Because I done
taser
seen
didn't work,
people
they
get hit
pulled
with
out
the
the gun.
stuns. Listen, I done seen people get hit with
So
stuns
you
and
took
still
a
laugh at them. Especially those on the spectrum. Let's not go there. Because I've seen some people,
You saw what
exactly,
happened
them
this
stuns
morning?
don't mean shit.
Did y'all saw what happened this morning?
Riders,
You know
baby.
those little you know those
My bad,
adult
y'all. Talking amongst the
scooters?
people while I'm talking with y'all.
I think that
For
they
those who are
jumped
not
to a wall
aware of what I'm
and one of
talking
them
about, there
jumped.
was a body footage camera of NYPD cop shot his own partner and shot two other people. Now again, situations where the guns are not necessary, y'all need to start implementing that back in your training for real. Especially when it's close quarters. You know, that's what I'm saying. You accosted somebody for what, a 4-inch knife? When technically you ain't supposed to accost nobody unless that knife is past 4 fingers. You know, and even still, there's ways to maneuver and shoot. When he showed that he was backing off and that he wasn't really a threat, there shouldn't have been no need for the gun to come out in the first place. It's crazy though. Nah, but it's truth, E. Because come on now, like there's people right now that have gotten tased and pepper sprayed and they eating that shit. So my thing is again, you know, it's just there's ways to, all right, well, this ain't gonna work, this ain't gonna work. But then again, if it's not turning into a violent situation, that person is showing more leeway of running away. Ain't no need to motherfucking do anything the way you gonna hurt yourself and hurt your partner. Riaz, what's going on, my guy? I don't know if y'all just tuned at the like button. I think it's crazy though. You know, just think about it. Now, all four of y'all sitting, even though it could be late, it's still the principle. Those four people didn't plan on going to no hospital at no time in the morning. You know, but it's just, it goes to show some people they just want to get into something just to be a part of something, but in the same token, they don't know how far they going. And that's the thing. You want to be a cop, you should. All right, you want to be a cop, you want to be a federale, whatever you want to be. All right, well, you should know what's required of the job, number one. And if that's something you still plan on doing, then hey, let you stand firm in what you doing. I grant that. Cool gamer, what's going on? And that's how you're supposed to do. I'm not going to join an establishment knowing where I might have to deal with lives. That would be like me trying to be a doctor and I know what's required of being a doctor, but I refuse to do it. Now, I'm saying there's going to be a lot of people getting hurt or possibly losing lives just because of my negligence. And that's the same instance right there with these NYPD and any cop for that matter that we've heard across the damn country. Some of them are just getting too trigger happy and too egotistical because again, now they feel like they got some form of authority or power. And some people really just don't apply none of the training that they have done into their jobs. That's critical. Come on, baby. And again, that's sad because all the training that you're supposed to be taking, that's supposed to be for just general safety as well, too. I don't have to necessarily use a weapon to subdue somebody. I just gotta know when to react, how to react. You know, my thing is some of these people they think they're doing the right thing, but they actually are doing a selfish thing. I don't see the reason of you joining any form of officer work if you not going to be prepared for the dangers, if you're not going to be prepared for the scenarios, if you're not going to be willing to apply everything that you learned during that training into the actual situation. Because once you're out on the beat, once you're out on the street, that's it. Ain't no more do overs, there's no more practice. Now you really are officially out there. But some of y'all just trigger happy. I got me a gun. You know, it's not right. I don't know, Mo. I don't know, Mo. It's coming soon, man. Where my monkey coming, man? I told you to go to that zoo, Mo. Get my damn monkey. I ain't playing with you. Nah, you all good, sis. No, but it's crazy because again, if you're not gonna be able to apply all of those things to that situation right there, you basically cook. It could be your first week on the job and possibly your last week on the job if you do something that you know for a fact could get you cooked. Sorry to tell you that way. If it's not corruption that's doing a lot of damage within that field of work, it's the fact that it's senseless and nonsensical things happening where people are losing their lives, man, for real. In that situation right there, it could have been four dead instead of just four shot. Just think about it. For those who did get hit, they wasn't expecting to get hit, especially by no ricochet or no straight. Come on, man. There's no way in the hell you can tell me you feel comfortable, just doing that. Like it's tiresome. When are we going to stop hearing about these type of shootings? And then it's crazy because body cams are showing everything. And in one or two instances, even with the body cam being shown, BS has happened already. And it's like it's getting tiresome. Stop just putting any and everybody into that field of play. You know, there should be more than just one psychological test when it does come down to that form of work. I understand when it comes down to certain fields of work. Yeah, it can be mentally draining. It could be mentally draining because again, you're out there every day trying to protect and serve. If you really are doing it by the book, you might have some great nights. You might have some terrible nights. You might have some nights you might want to forget. And even that will drive certain ones to depression. I grant that. But again, you know what's necessary. You knew what was required when you signed up. The main thing you can do is when you know you're getting to a certain point in that field, they do have psychologists and stuff, right? Yeah, they still got psychologists and stuff they can go talk to, psychiatrists they can go talk to, right? True. Lucy, baby. That's what I'm saying. You got to think about that. It's no way in the hell you can tell me that there's always some form of an excuse or just a slap on the wrist type of card for these people when they make careless decisions. Again, you're being trained to know when to shoot and when not to shoot. If you can't determine, first things first, I've always felt like this. If you're going to be doing that line of work, you got to go back to that target practice. I'm quite sure they still do target practice with y'all, making sure y'all don't hit civilians and again, learning when to shoot and when not to shoot. If it's a robbery situation and it could be going left already, knowing who to hit and who not to hit, making sure that you are disarming or at least subduing the criminal at hand and not an innocent bystander. That part I at least know. I said, just with this type of job and that type of responsibility, yeah, sometimes you're gonna have to think, in a blink of an eye, you might have to make a split decision. But again, you got to go with your gut instinct more than anything. And prime example, this wasn't a situation where it seemed like it could have got deadly at all. Because again, that person is moving away. Like, they already know they outnumbered, regardless. But again, it could have got crazy. Again, it's about knowing when to approach, when to attack, and when to calm it down. You know, and I'm sorry, but the point of the matter is, it could have been children on that train, on that station. It could have been anything. Shoot, it could have been anybody of importance that could have got hit, and just because you know you being scary, look what happened. Big dog, what's going on? Keymarsh, baby. Appreciate you for dropping those links, serious baby. Working harder than my motherfucking neighbor with his bullshit boombox, baby. Don't worry. If y'all hear any bullshit in the background, I don't own no going on. I don't own no copyrights, nothing. Shit. But no, that's sad though, because again, 4 people hit for nothing. Because sometimes you can avoid the situation. If a person is not being aggressive, 9 out of 10, they could have a mental issue. That's something that I'm quite sure y'all taught as well too. See, it doesn't matter what line of work you decide to do, and I'm just talking outside of it. If you're going to be having to deal with people who are either on the spectrum or not on the spectrum and just going through it, you got to know when to identify what the situation is going to be. And again, it's sad. And in a sense, it kind of is a mass shooting, even though it's only 4 people that got hit. But still, that's more than one person that need to be hit, especially on a subway system. You know, and if it was definitely during the peak hours of rush hour, yeah, that could cause a lot. That's one situation that could cause a lot of delayed trains. But why sometimes people be running late because there's certain things happening on the subways that is going to push things back. Another thing, people getting sick, and then instead of staying home, want to take mass transit, and then they end up sometimes being the reason why we get what we get too. We'll cover a few things within this little iniquity today, but that had to be addressed because that could have been anywhere, not just the city. That could have been anywhere. I don't know. It's just it goes to show you if you are not prepared for certain scenarios, don't put yourself in it because again, lives could be at stake. And again, that boy looked more scared than anything, especially again, he's outnumbered 2 to 1. And then he already know he's outmatched because y'all got the heavy weapons. He only got a little bullshit ass knife. I'm gonna dig deeper into that story, but it's just again, it's crazy. You know, because you know more details gonna come out to a degree, but then 9 out of 10, it, they gonna try to make it work towards the cops' benefit. But honestly, I don't see it that way. At least from the footage I seen, that looked like you just didn't care. You're like, I don't know. Could be wrong. That's just my view and opinion on it. Because again, I've always felt like this: don't lie and say somebody lunged or did something when you know they didn't do it. That doesn't make sense. And again, it could have got worse. Everybody could have lost their life in that situation again. So again, if you go and think about getting into that field of play, know what's at stake. But anytime there is a situation like that, we know a lot of times you're gonna go through the psych evaluations and all of that. But it needs to be a thorough psych evaluation. You don't want it to be, and now I'm speaking to the force man. Y'all don't want it to be a situation where your carelessness from an officer in your department is the reason why you all going down for some bullshit. All right. Irresponsibility and just lack of accountability, you know, that will mess up a whole thing. You know, and it's sad because again, let's go. There's no way in the hell you want to tell me in that situation y'all didn't think to read and say, well, it ain't critical. It seemed like a non-violent approach. I bet. You know what? We're gonna try to at least still alleviate the situation. At least the main thing was supposed to be just get him off the train if you felt he was a danger. I mean, right or wrong, that is supposed to be the goal. In order for me to keep a situation from getting hostile, let me get this person off the train. And if this person was the reason why we're on the train right now, then that's what we need to do. But if we was just already on foot or on patrol on the train and just happen to see something that looked a little suspicious, all right, cool. But you still got to read the situation. You still got to read the situation. For all you know, that boy could have had that knife for his own protection. You never know. Like I said, I'm gonna dig deeper into it. But from the body cam footage I seen, that looked just again looked like like blatantness again, blatant ignorance, blatant abuse of power. At least in my opinion, you know. That's why I said you gotta definitely know when and how to diffuse things. Quick thinking, and I know they teach you certain things. You know, that's just like you learning a new profession. You're not going to forget almost everything that you was taught, especially the key important parts that's going to keep you afloat. So, that's the one thing to remember. Being fast and thinking on thinking while you on your feet. It helps. I don't necessarily have to worry about risking my life or somebody else's life over a little minor situation. That's how it's supposed to always remain. Sometimes it might not be that way. We know that. Fairy tale world, we would hope that certain things would not play out, but hey, but again, it's still about safety. If I know there's people on board, I take a greater risk, especially if I got a badge and a gun. I take a better risk at hurting somebody before they hurt me. Nah, I'm not. Nah, it's not the way that goes. We ain't supposed to be utilizing these jobs for how you say it, mm, irrational purposes. Basically, in my opinion, don't try to be on the job just because you feel like you're gonna have some form of authority and a power and a say so to just make anything and everything happen. Nah, nah. You're still a citizen. You just a step up. You know, I'm sorry, but abuse of power, nah, that's something y'all need to make sure is not happening. If you'd had the two right people on, that situation probably doesn't even make the news, honestly, because it could have just been another diffused situation. There's been situations where things don't even hit the news. It'd be light because again, the people who really know beat and know whatever, they pretty much know when to assess and when to just leave shit be. But anytime it is a situation like that, yeah, they need to be retrained or go back through the retraining. Can't just prime examples suspend the cop and then bring them back on when everything is all said and done. Nah, you can't do shit like that. And if you're going to do that, hey, let them go back through the courses of retraining. Because remember, things will always be consistently changing. That's what everybody fail to realize. Certain laws are changing. So now there's certain things you're going to have to be more careful for, especially if you are wearing the badge. You know that already. And in another instance, come on in. They need to go back through a retraining because now you're going to have to deal with certain situations way differently now. The goal really is to try to preserve life and protect life. That's why they said protect and serve. You ain't protecting nobody when you serving your own best interest, you know. And in that instance right there, that was, in my opinion, carelessness. You shot your partner and shot two other people. Now let's say those three people would have actually lost their lives. Then what? How do you feel about that? Or how would you have felt about that? To think that a mistake, could come that easily, right? We're Chicago, baby. It's good. And just I never understood that. I'm sorry because I think there are some people who only go into that field of position because they were picked on, abused, or bullied, and that's the best way for them to exact revenge, if you want to say it that way. My view and opinion on it. You got some who do plan on making a difference, and some of them actually do make a difference because if they're going by the book, everything is being done the right way. Again, when you have certain fields of play, those couple people could again mess up your whole situation. Like, yeah, you can't put every cop in the same scenario in the same generalized group. There's cops that's getting down with the people in the community, and it's not so much as just for quote unquote information. A lot of times they try to do what they gotta do. A job. Especially in the areas where you know you're gonna need the help because not everybody is banded up. But that's another story, I'm gonna get to that on another day. But for those who plan on joining any form of military, shoot, police, anything along those lines, ranger, whatever you decide to do, know what comes with that situation right there. And if you really are doing it because that's just generally what you want to do and you feel good doing it, then again, never lose or try to replace the training that was given to you. Again, once you get out on that field for real, there is no more practice. You got to know everything and implement everything for your safety, your partner's safety, the safety of others around you, especially if a serious situation is occurring. Just in case if there's a situation where somebody is having a medical condition, they need ambulance, you gotta know what's what. You gotta know the codes on the walkie, all of that. Like it's a lot of different things that you're not supposed to take for granted. Because guess what? They're gonna help you in those critical situations. That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna get into that field, know that training is not gonna be easy. And when it's all said and done, you gotta know when to execute. If you don't know when to execute, there could be curtains. And curtains for all the wrong reasons. But all in all, though, it's an eye awakener for real. The eye opener for real because guess what? It goes to show you how dangerous things can be in a split second. But you got the right cool heads to prevail. Guess what? You don't get too many bad situations. Sometimes you're not going to be lucky. And even just the fact of the body footage, it's a little disturbing because you don't see nothing really of that nature. Again, but it got to be better training when it comes to handling situations like that. If a person is non-confrontational and violent, regardless of what, if your job is to just to keep the problem under wraps or keep things under wraps, just do so. And that notion right there, once he got trained, even if you were still going to follow him, you ain't have to do nothing right then and there at that moment. Nah, you don't got your 2 cents. If you had 2 cents, you would stop smoking rocks on this beautiful Tuesday. Now, again, if you're going to join that field, do it. Do it for the right reasons and not all the wrong reasons. But nah, just it's crazy because again, that could have been three different funerals going on as we speak. Losses of life. In certain moments, you might freeze up, but when you know that it's about to be something real bad, you got to know how to prepare for it. Come on, little baby. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Brief intermission, y'all. We have one ignorance, so he get the ignorance right back too. Still doing now in that person's mind, so you know what I'm doing. They're triggered. Oh. Nah, but happy Taco Tuesday to everybody pulling in today. No, but again, it's something to really be aware of. Once you get into that field of play, you are not just accountable and responsible for your life and your well-being. You're responsible for the well-being of others. And that should resonate in your mind. That the training that you're getting should never be forgotten. And you really have to think, You have to really think on the fly, especially on certain occasions. But other occasions, hey, maneuver and see how many situations you can attack it with to where it diffuses. Again, some people could be having mental outbreaks, so on and so forth. In other situations, some people are just protecting themselves. You just gotta be able to assess what's what, you know. And right now, in this turbulent city, in this turbulent state right now, and it's like that almost everywhere. Most of the civilians are going to have to arm themselves up with some form of protection. Why? Because again, it's too much going on. You know, gotta remember that part. But this is what you signed up for. This is exactly what you said you planned on doing for your life, right? So make sure you executing the right decision. Another thing I want to talk about today, like I said, I'm gonna get more on that story and I'm gonna come back and recover that. Another thing I wanted to talk about today, and I'm reiterating on something I was speaking about recently. Again, some of you podcasters out there, you know, if you're gonna have any form of talks, discussions, or anything, you know, make sure that the discussions you're having is not going to be triggering on either end, and also make sure that everybody's going to be able to sit down at the table and talk respectfully. And that's on both sides for the men and the women out there. Make sure that there's a respect level when it comes to having dialect and conversation. You know, oh snap, spicy tuna wraps, oh snap. Everybody out here eating good today. I seen everybody out here eating good today. Nah, but you know, you gotta think about that. You know, if I'm gonna jump into this, then I gotta know what I'm doing, what the topics are gonna be, you know, whether it's freestyle or whether it's something that's being produced correctly or being produced as a show format, cool. You want that to be a daily or a weekly show, regardless, cool. You know, but again, you gotta know what you're gonna be speaking about, and you gotta be consistent on it. And also, again, if you're gonna have people sitting down on your podcast or sitting down at the table, hey, everybody should be able to respect each other more than anything. We could be having the most disagreements about certain things. Guess what? That's just a part of life. There's certain things people are going to agree with or disagree with. But again, it should never get to a point where you start showing the utmost disrespect. You know, we could both have a disagreement about abortion, prime example. That doesn't mean we got to go off the deep end and let our emotions override everything. The point and purpose is to have the conversation, regardless, to get everybody's views and perspectives, because everybody's views and perspectives are important, especially when it comes to those type of talks. You know, or prime example, we could be disagreeing about taxes and certain things along those natures. Again, we could be disagreeing about how certain businesses should be ran and how they should be operated. Right? Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. We still shouldn't go off the deep end to the point where we almost to fisticuffs. It's not that worth it. You know, the main thing is to bring awareness, but also, you know, just have a conversation. Let the people see exactly what other people are thinking in certain situations right there. And again, some of y'all gotta understand you can't come into somebody's show and disrespect the host regardless. The host has all right to do whatever they gonna do. So if you can't come in with the maturity level of having a conversation, then you should stay off of that topic. That's why I said this again about what you talk about and how you go about talking about that situation right there. She got those spicy raps, baby. You know, but some people hate to hear that truth right there. We don't always gotta come to disrespect and just chaos just because we don't agree on something. If we don't agree on something, then we move forward. All right, we move on to the next conversation. That's another way of diffusing something. You know, in some situations, even while things were trying to be diffused, some people just won't leave well enough alone. You know, and again, it takes away from the content because if you're supposed to be having a strong conversation about something that we all might be going through or things that we see on a day to day, then how the hell can't y'all just say, you know what, how we feel about this discussion today? You know, if you're gonna have whether it's special guests or just regular people, hey, yo, listen, y'all want to talk about this today? You know, get your mental thoughts and whatever in order because we're gonna talk about it. But if you don't feel like this is going to be the topic of discussion, you know, throw out whatever we're going to throw out, you know, because the main thing is supposed to be keeping the content going, you know. You can't keep the content going when you got either the women being disrespectful or the men being disrespectful, especially towards the host. That shit is corny. Again, it shows maturity, and it also shows what kind of etiquette you really have. You know, that's the saddest thing about it, though. I've seen some shows that looked like it was going to be something, and then shit, and then turned to shit. Excuse me, y'all, in less than 20 minutes. Everybody is so heated up and worked up for what? You know. Again, conversation goal is trying to get something out of it, trying to get some form of gems and jewels out of it, because it's again bringing awareness on the things that we go through on a day to day. This is strong advice coming from somebody who's only been podcasting for 2 years. Again, just know what your topics are going to be about. And even if you want to go off the whim or revisit something, again, if you want to have a panel full of people or you just whatever, make sure the respect level is where it need to be at. You know, because again, it's supposed to be getting to a conscious mindset of things. All right, there's certain things you can end up coming with in the midst of a conversation that can be game changers, even for life as we speak, because the word is getting out there. You know, you just got to remember this part right there. You can't have a show every day or every week, and this is the type of results you're going to get. Because again, think about it. In certain instances, who really wants to have to go through editing more than what they need to edit out? Now, if you're going to put it in a format to where you have to do a little editing, cool. But again, most of this stuff, shouldn't even get that far. All right, we ain't agreeing on that. So what? All right, now I'm calling somebody truancy officer. Uh huh. Yeah. No, but you just got to remember that part right there, though. Um, it really is about holding down, holding down the floor space. And again, some of y'all have to stop coming with that emotional mindset. Not every topic you talk about you have to be emotional about. You got to have some form of decency and some form of respect, regardless. And if you can't, then you shouldn't be a part of those conversations until you are ready to be so. And that's the thing, though. I granted different views and opinions are needed in those convos, But again, have something of substance to bring to it. Again, I've seen heated conversations turn right back into normal talks and conversation. Because again, some people are going to disagree on things, and it might get little heated, but never that crazy. You don't hear these people disrespecting each other, calling each other B's and P's, and so on and so forth. Like that's not happening. At least the ones that I've watched, that's not happening. Yeah, conversations got heated. Nobody called each other B's. Nobody felt the type of way about each other. Nobody fell out. Again, because they knew what they was going to talk about and how to attack the situation from a logical aspect. I've seen men and women come together on certain topics and yes, have a great conversation, even when things got heated or even when things got into a state of confusion. But nonetheless, nevertheless, it never got too crazy. It never got to a point where somebody had to second guess you or second eye or side eye you, you know? And again, stick to the topic. Some people end up going off topic, because of that emotion as well too. You got to understand if somebody's attacking something from a logical perspective and aspect, you got to think logical. You got to understand where that person is coming from, and even if you disagree, hey, there's nothing wrong with the disagreement. But again, know when the cutoff point is. Before you think it's going to get that, nah, let me just stop right here. You know, in certain instances, you're going to definitely need mediators in those type of talks and debates. You're going to need those only because again, some people might make the situation more than what it is. How they say you keep hyping something up and something is going to eventually happen. There are some who, guess what, at the end of the day, even with the disrespect, they know how to shut everything down and still get back to the point of topic. But again, know what you're presenting. You want to present talks of positivity and everything else, then guess what? Stay on that focus. You never let nothing knock you back or hold you down from your true ultimate goals in life. Again, you doing that for sheer purpose. Sheer purpose of, sharing to the world, you know, the views, opinions, and the facts of those coming. You know, again, you gotta know who's for you and who's not for you as far as the conversations are concerned. Because if they're for you, they're gonna understand that no matter what you decide to talk about, or what you decide to bring into the convo, you're coming at it from a logical standpoint. You want to know where your views are. I want to know where your views are, et cetera, et cetera. And then we move on from there. Well, I mean, serious. Come on now. I mean, it's truth because come on now. If we're gonna have a conversation, probably example, we could be having a conversation about you know specific politics, whether it's political or not. Should be able to come together and come to some form of conclusion and reason. And again, don't let anything mess up the conversation value or mess up the value period. Again, it really is about bringing something to the people. And again, content can be ruined just by the simple fact of emotions and anger. You gotta know exactly when to diffuse that. What's going on? You gotta know when to diffuse that. Because again, I feel like this. If you all are gonna agree on a topic to talk on, don't wait till last minute and then switch up the whole vibe. It's not gonna work. Because that can even ruin content right there. Like I already told you what we're gonna speak about. Okay, if we all on the same accordance with that topic, cool. If we not, let's find out what we can talk about the way nobody gets too offended. Or nobody feels like they have to go above and beyond. And another thing to remember is that again, it, and I want to say that to those people who do be just appearing on people's podcasts and stuff like that. Just because you loud and you over speaking and over talking and interrupting, that does not mean you're necessarily right, and that doesn't mean you're getting the point across. Especially if somebody is breaking you down logically. Sorry to tell you that. That carelessness right there make you look foolish because now when you go on other shows or when you try to move your name around, they ain't gonna want to hear that. You bugging. Like, oh no, we ain't dealing with you because we already see what you like to do. That right there can mess you up. Again, the thing is, if we're gonna have a discussion, all right, get your point across. Once I yield the floor is yours. Now again, don't tell me you yield the floor, and then when it's all said and done, now you want to interrupt me or interrupt my point. That's actually immature. Sorry, my opinion. That's immature. You can literally sit here and do that, and not just once. You do that almost on multiple occasions. No, that's a problem. That's something you need to work on because again, that's not right. We trying to bring dialect, and we try to dissect things on a higher scale, right? So that's not the best look again when you are over talking even the host. I've seen some situations where these people try to overtalk the host. Like you can't do that. Again, show some respect and decorum on people's platforms, especially if they are deeming you worthy to even be on the platform. Because honestly, some people really don't need their views and opinions expressed. You know, because depending on what platform you're using to have your podcast, you could be using them on multiple streams, right? But again, it's more about interactions more than anything. Even for people who might be coming into the show one way or another, you know, it's about the decorum. Let's see what these people are talking about. Let's see if they're gonna pique interest. Let's see if we gonna come back or if we just gonna go elsewhere. Again, you should be able to have civilized talks without getting uncivilized. It's been done on multiple occasions. But in some instances, again, some people are just not going to be mature enough to have some conversations. And the way they mindset is, again, it's always going to be, well, even if I'm wrong, I'm still going to try to prove that I'm right. Like, nah. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Accept it. You know, that's all. So people have to do that and learn that again. You know, in order to further conversations and to get better situations and better solutions, you know, eliminate the emotion factor, the insults, the constant interruptions, the rudeness. It's not necessary because it'll always go to show to some people that we can never come together outside of just misery and ignorance. Nah, show that we can come together. At least some of us should be able to come together with that logical aspect of building and creating a great conversation and hopefully creating a great solution. But in certain instances, sorry to say, you're not going to be able to build with everybody within your range. So, hey, If you gotta maneuver and move out, hey, do what you gotta do. Again, it's about bettering the brand. Again, the one thing to remember is that in order to understand a clear conversation amongst everybody, exactly what you just said, serious. Come on now. Over talking each other, talking all at the same time. That's that's kind of delaying the content, and that's kind of confusing the people because how they supposed to know what's really going? Even for the people that might just be again coming in, don't want to come into a situation and not fully know what's going on. But you see everybody's in the uproar. Again, get in control of that aspect. Again, know what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. Again, to bring the greatest success to your podcast. In my opinion, the greatest success for you would just continue to do you, be you, and even if you have to change certain cylinders, hey, make sure it's for the better and not for the worse. And before I get up out of here, take the time to again give birthday shout outs to all you Libra babies. I know most of y'all celebrating right now. You know, I didn't forget about y'all. Definitely did not forget about y'all. On your good old birthdays, I did not forget about you. You know I can't forget about y'all. I can't forget about you. Again, hopefully y'all enjoying your birthday weeks, whatever you might have planned. More blessed memories. You know, another year of blessings, lessons, and hopefully less stress. More progression. You already know. Topic of the discussion and the lesson today was just again for those podcasters out there. Know what you're bringing, know how to bring it, and again, just continue to do what's good for you. Just continue to do it. If it serves a purpose, keep doing what's necessary. And don't let, again, nothing stop that form of conversations from happening. You know, whether you have special guests or not, doesn't matter. If y'all having a talking discussion, it gotta be respectful and cordial. And if there's certain questions that probably could trigger, don't ask them. But before I do get up out of here again, I'm thinking about the first ever AI Matrix Awards. I'm gonna come back to that discussion too. Again, it's gonna be multiple ways for even the smallest to the biggest ones to understand something. Again, what you bring on your podcast is the big product, you know. And if your product is to bring and promote positivity, then you do so. If your thing is bringing politics and anything else along those lines, you bring it. No matter how you feel, you should remember one thing. You're doing it because that's something you feel is needed. Not wanted, needed. You felt like you needed to do this, now continue to stay positive and stay consistent. Again, know what you bring in as far as content. And if you are speaking from certain experiences, then that's even the best way to do it. All in all, appreciate y'all all for rocking. Now, for those follow me on Clapper, early edition, I see y'all at 4 o'clock. But yeah, more than anything, hopefully somebody did get something out of the lessons today. And again, I'm going to revisit that first part because, again, I believe there's more to that story. The dog is in your mama. Yes. No, no, you tried it. You tried it, but watch this. I'm going about your. Oh, matter of fact, you wanted this. My bad. No. No, try again. Try again. Selena, baby. Come on, man. Hence why I said you can't have everybody a form of bill or conversation. And these are the type of oppositions you deal with. But guess what? Guess what? There you go. There you go. But I am going to revisit that story from the first part of this live. Because I feel there's more to that. But again, just remember for those who are trying to go and protect and serve, remember the purpose. Purpose is more to preserve life and not necessarily take it or put that in danger. Mazel tov.
What I'm gonna cook.
Oh Lord. Yeah, we're gonna get low vibrational things around, but sometimes those low vibrations just be upset. My bad. Here you go. Oh, I forgot. I am skating in their mind today because it's one something in the afternoon. It doesn't matter where you at, right? You don't think it's time for you to figure out your next course of plan? Maybe gain employment. I know you got to be unemployed for you to be worried about me every day, and it goes to show. But this is what I'm doing in your mind, though. I know. See, even your ignorant ass can't disturb a conversation, regardless to what. Again, you are the type of low life in the form of low life that again can't have any form of a intelligent or intellectual conversation because of your emotional intelligence. If you gotta worry about me every day, what does that say about your personal life? You wasting valuable time on me, and you could have been utilizing that for the better. Hey, you probably could have been in the best position of gaining some form of career. Hey, you shit might actually get what you was trying to get done and accomplished. But instead, you want to hang on my. Never mind. Watch this though. I'm gonna tell you how to leave me alone. Word for real. You know what? Y'all get one of these again. Here you go. See, that's what we gonna do with your little never mind. Let me not go there because then I feel disrespectful. You know. But what's going on, my guy? If y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. And if y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Now, I want to have fun now. Now I want to have fun. Now, hey, you know what? Hey. Yo, Hood, you came in just in time, son. You came in just in time, son. Hold up, son. Hold up, son. You ain't the only one that got dropped, son. Hold on, son. I forgot. I was supposed to give that to these motherfuckers today.
I don't wanna go to work. I don't wanna wait tomorrow. I just ain't tryna go to work. I don't wanna wait tomorrow. I don't wanna go to work. I don't wanna wait tomorrow.
Let me show you what I'm doing on these niggas' minds. Come on, man. Like I said, I might be doing the first ever AI Matrix Awards. Don't worry, man. We in here. But yeah, you know, again, I'm gonna revisit that story because I feel like there definitely is gonna be more to bring into that. But again, if you're gonna jump into that line of work, you know, be prepared and expect the unexpected. Oh, and for the podcast situation, for a lot of people, again, if you're gonna bring real serious forms of talks, topics, and discussions, make sure the people that you're discussing these things with are on that mature level to have those conversations. If not, trust me, things will never work the way it's supposed to work. But yeah, I feel good about today's message. Let me show you how good I feel. Hold on 1 second. Let me show you how good I feel. Let me show you. I don't know how good I feel today. Actually, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Come on, do the cha-cha. Shorty Spanish, so she like to call me Papa. True fact, everything I do, they call it Flocka. All they do is copy me, I call them Walker. She get...
Yeah, go. Yeah. Mm. One more again.
These niggas talking out of their neck. Don't put no coughing out of your mouth. I'm way too paranoid for a threat. Hey, let's get it, bro. DOT, the money, power, respect. The last one is better. Say yes, a lot of goofies with a check. I mean, I hope them sentiments symbolic.
Nah, but again, just remember what's at remember what's at stake when it comes to you building your brand, especially if you are podcasting. Remember that regardless of what you bring to the podcast, you always got to remain in control and one step ahead. The reason why is because, again, in control of the situation, you'll get better results. A step ahead means you're just thinking outside the box. I feel good today. I feel so good. Everybody getting dropped today. Don't worry. Everybody getting a drop today. Everybody getting a drop. Oh wait, let me do that for the future. For anybody who want to have 1,000 troll names.
Shit.
There you go. Now I feel a little better. Feel a little bit better. Like again, for those following me on Clap, I see y'all at 4. Great conversation. Again, we're gonna pick up and revisit. But again, for those podcasters out there who are becoming major platforms, always remember what's important and what's needed. Growth should be the main thing needed. Nothing more, nothing less. But let me get up out of here. If y'all was new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to the replay game. Shout out to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. Everybody that was in attendance today, you already know that love is love and it'll be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. What I can do is keep it real. That's all I'm gonna do is give you real topics and real bills. And again, I'll see y'all later on. Hopefully somebody got something out of this. Make sure you sharing that message out. Oh, before I do get up out of here, still feel a little bit petty, a little bit petty, a little bit petty. One more again for the people. There you go. There you go. Find better hobbies instead of trying to troll. This shit ain't working for you. But y'all stay safe. Keep that third eye open. And until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.